looking through. I do have just one more line of questions. Ms. Woodward, with respect to the decision to terminate Ms. Devlin's employment, was it, to the best of your knowledge, ma'am, was it because Ms. Devlin may have had a disability?
No.
Was it because she used FMLA leave?
No.
Was it because she opposed discrimination?
No.
I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Ms. Devlin, this is your opportunity to ask questions of the witness. You're not permitted to make statements this time. You're limited to asking questions. Do you have any questions that you want to direct to Ms. Woodward?
I do, yes.
Go ahead.
Mandy, was there anybody else in the nurses station who would swear?
Yes, everyone.
Everyone, okay. Would you agree that it's a high stress position?
Yes.
Okay. And for your position now at Willow Creek, is intake, so like the charge role, separate from the floor nurse position?
Objection,
Yes.
objection relevance.
I'll let the witness answer the question. Go ahead, Ms. Woodward.
Yeah, they're two different departments.
Okay. And the charge nurse role is separate from the floor nurse role at the county, correct?
Correct. It's also a very different size facility. It's 72 beds compared to 16 beds.
Okay, good point. I was doing both roles at the county, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then there were some things that were added, like the first admission of each shift, some extra responsibilities that had been added.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew about my mental illness, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you feel like my mental illness had anything to do with like the behaviors or struggling, struggling to get some of the tasks done? Did you feel like there was ever a point in which that might have been an influence?
I wouldn't be able to say anyway. I don't.
It does. Yeah, this witness would not be in a position to really answer that question without being in the mind of the questioner. Next question, Ms. Devlin.
Okay. And do you remember my performance evaluation from April 23rd? I don't know if you remember whether or not it was favorable or not. Do you remember anything about that? Anything about my performance evaluation?
I don't recall offhand. I know that I'm sure there were very good things on there too. You were a very good nurse.
Did anybody say or do anything to make you feel like there was any pressure regarding my absences?
I'll let the witness answer the question. Go ahead, Ms. Woodward.
I will say that there were many nurses who were frustrated with you not being there, and I couldn't explain why you weren't being disciplined for your attendance because obviously that was an FMLA related. Those were FMLA related absences, so they weren't, and obviously your own business. I'm not going to be discussing that with other people, but yes, people were frustrated by you not being there because your role was very important, but that didn't have anything to do with any decisions to discipline you or to terminate you.
Did you ever get frustrated with me about it and express it in text or to me personally?
Maybe the frustration of having our coworkers be frustrated.
Okay. So from under tab R10, this was already brought up, but when it's the email between you and Luke when you were initiating the PIP, I think this is says here's what I've documented so far. Were you working with Luke prior to that?
I was working with Luke all the time. I don't know for sure what we
I'm
were
sorry.
working with.
Were you working with him to document like a case against me? Because you said so far. I just wanted to know.
I mean, in
clarification.
general, I worked with him every day. So I'm not sure when this all started, when we started having conversations.
Was this the first discussion about it?
I honestly can't recall.
Okay. And then under tab, let's see, on page R8, page BC060.
You know what the trial exhibit number is, Ms. Devlin?
I am so sorry, I don't know. This is, I should have been marking these, I didn't know.
Ms. Devlin, did you say C060?
BC060, yes.
I don't have that under R8. I have BC099.
And
They
Judge,
all-
Oh, I'm sorry.
that has not yet been marked. It's under tab 2.
Okay.
Employee handbook,
Yeah.
okay, 67.
Yeah, so it's there's under the procedure foreseeable leave, when it states in the event your need for leave is foreseeable, the county must be notified in writing at least 15 calendar days. And then it says in parentheses, or if not possible, as soon as practicable before the date on which the leave is to begin. As far as you're aware, did I provide notice when I was going to take leave, at least in accordance with the county policy for 2 hours notice?
From what I recall, you typically did, other than it looks like that email. There was one other exhibit in here that said that you didn't.
Okay.
But for the most part, I think you were abiding by that.
Okay. And then under tab R16, this is going back to that email from Samantha when she was kind of recapping what had happened. There was a statement from one of the nurses, BW. And R17 though, under tab R17, what's recapped here is stating that BW wasn't even present on the day that I had been swearing in the nurse's station.
I'm going to object. She's testifying. Plus, I don't know where in these 2 exhibits what she's referring to.
Well, she hasn't formulated the question yet. Ms. Devlin, I guess, what document are you referring to?
There's a statement under our tab R16 from a nurse, BW, and it's stating that she comments included, this is bullshit, I'm a charge nurse, not a floor nurse. And then under tab R17, I made a note that B knows of Thursday events, but B was not present on Thursday. As far as you remember, Mandy, do you know if that nurse had been present on the day that I had the issue where I was swearing in the corner?
I'm going to be honest with you. I remember multiple situations where you were swearing, so I can't tell you which one was which.
Okay. Then, let's see. The only other write-ups that I had in the past were for my attendance. Is that correct? Do you remember there being any other write-ups aside and before the PIP?
I believe there were, I don't know if there were write-ups or there was documentation from the previous DON when I had looked in your file. So there were issues before I had started. I know you had, there was actually a file that had your name and another nurse's name on it because of the problems that you two had. You had your own special file. And that was prior to me being the DON.
I do remember that. Okay. And then just a couple other questions. When they reached out to you to testify, did anyone say or do anything to make you feel like there would be personal and professional consequences if you didn't testify?
No, not at all.
Okay. And you said it makes you look awful. There's a text message under tab when I said I wouldn't cross-examine you, but I did. It's that text string from you. Let me see. It was already entered as an exhibit. And it is under R26.
Yeah, I was specifically discussing the sexual harassment complaints that you had.
Oh, okay. So that's what, when you said it makes you look awful, that's what you were referring to?
Yes.
Okay, that's the probable cause portion, so I'm gonna leave that aside. And then when I said that this is because of what happened between us, and you said, I know, what do you mean by that?
Where does it say that?
Um,
Oh, the
let's
whole
see.
case is because of what happened between us.
And you said, I know. And I said that led to me being fired. What did you mean by that?
Because of what happened between us. Honestly, I guess I don't know. Because then
Okay.
you started talking about other stuff, and that's when I kind of decided not to communicate with you anymore.
Okay. All right. And I think that, oh, I did want to ask you about when the charge roll was created and the hours were between 11 and 7. So it was half of first shift and half of second shift. Was there a push for there to be more? Were there any nurses that were requesting to have more time with the charge nurse on one shift versus another?
Yes, both shifts fought over who would get the charge nurse on their shift more. That's why we had to split it between the two.
And is that also why then I had the first admission of each shift when I was for each shift when I came in? So I'd have the first admission when I came in at 11 and then the first admission after 3 p.m.
I don't remember you having the first admission after 3 p.m.
Okay,
I thought you just had the first one of the day.
It was, I think it was the first admission of the shift, but you might be right. Okay. And no, that is, oh, I did. One last question. Can you describe what it's the importance of setting boundaries with psychiatric patients in terms of like staff splitting? If a patient who is not yours came to you and asked you for something, what would your response be if you weren't their nurse?
Objection relevance.
It's in regards to a statement made about how I had been ignoring a nurse who came to, it was in a statement. But I was just R 16. There is a statement in under tab R16 that it's from Samantha Bailing on August 14th, 2020 at 1:08 to Luca Newton. And in here it states that B provides an example of a female client attempting to speak with Rachel last week. Rachel declines, claiming attempts to set boundaries. She can talk with her RN, says Rachel. According to B, the peers within the area felt like it was not an attempt to set boundaries as the client went completely ignored. So that's what I wanted to refer to.
Okay, so what's the answer, Ms. Woodward?
I guess what's the question?
If you were to set a boundary with a patient and who was not yours,
Mm-hmm.
and that patient was asking you for something but had a different nurse, would it be appropriate to redirect them to their nurse?
Obviously, it would depend on the context of their request. If it was something simple and you were a staff member there, that would be appropriate to help them. If it was something more specific, I guess I don't really understand how to answer the question, but if it was something that the nurse needed to approach, then I would refer them to their nurse, yes.
Okay. Can you just briefly explain what staff splitting is?
Staff splitting would be where in a situation like a patient would ask one staff member for something, and if they didn't give it to them, they'd go ask another staff member, or they would talk inappropriately about a different staff member and kind of get that staff member on the patient's side.
In a situation like that, is it appropriate to set boundaries with the patients?
If that was what was going on, yes.
Okay. And I think that is it. That's all I have for you.
All right, I've got a few questions, and then we'll go back to Attorney Nelson if she has any follow-up questions. Ms. Woodward, how long have you known Rachel Devlin?
Whenever she started at the CTC, I'm guessing close to 10 years, maybe. I'm not sure exactly when she started, to be honest. It's been a long time.
You were both floor nurses together, is that right?
Correct.
And a friendship developed between the two of you, is that right?
Yes.
There were occasions when you did things outside of, say, the hospital setting together, is that right?
Yes, very often. I think we had the same schedule, the same nights off. I mean, we were best friends for many years.
And when did you become the director of nursing for the Brown County?
I believe it was 2017.
Okay. And so then at that time, you would have been her, that is Rachel Devlin's supervisor. Would that be a fair statement?
Correct.
All right. Did that change your friendship at all?
Yeah, I did.
How so?
Because of the conflicts at work between us, the things that we're seeing that we've been stating while we've been here, it was very difficult to remain friends with her when I was not being respected as her supervisor. And I just felt like kind of let down by that we couldn't have a professional relationship with each other. I mean, not saying it wasn't unprofessional, but it wasn't handled well with Rachel.
When would you say that, say, the personal relationship started to deteriorate?
I honestly am not quite sure.
Okay. I would like to direct your attention to Respondents Exhibit number 11, which was an email that you sent to Rachel Devlin on June 11th of 2020, specifically the third paragraph, which states, I want you to be aware of the seriousness of these issues. Your inactions are putting both NPC and BH, I think that you meant at great risk for citations. You are also doing a disservice to our clients who benefit from group content. I will be closely monitoring your workload. I have notified Tammy that we will not be allowing any further low census for you since your work appears to not be completed. So that's, I guess, what I would consider to be, a pretty serious note to someone that you might consider to be a friend. Would that be fair?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think we were close at this time.
Did you think that the language that you used in that paragraph put Ms. Devlin on notice that her job might be in jeopardy?
I guess that was the idea of it, yes.
And directing your attention to Exhibit 16, that is Respondents Exhibit 16, it's Trial Exhibit 24. This is an email from Samantha Baling. You were one of the recipients of this email. And it was basically an interview with another employee who was relating a situation that happened sometime in the month of August 2020. So just quoting from this document, this employee says, yes, it was super uncomfortable. Yesterday, Rachel was saying F this, F that. I'm the charge nurse, not a floor nurse. I'm fucking calling in tomorrow. Is this the type of behavior that you would expect from a charge nurse or a floor nurse?
No, absolutely not.
And how did you take the phrase, I'm fucking calling in tomorrow? What did you take that to mean?
I guess it kind of didn't surprise me that she would do that. I know that, and because I was her friend and knew what her FMLA was all about, being in high stress situations like that definitely could have triggered her mental illness. Having a rough day like this, it wouldn't have surprised me for her to call in the next day.
You were not present for the termination, but it wasn't clear to me, were you part of the decision making regarding the termination?
Yes.
And can you explain why it was then that Ms. Devlin was discharged by Brown County?
Because she was placed on the PIP in the last chance agreement and still wasn't fulfilling her duties.
All right. I'll go back to Attorney Nelson for follow-up questions, if any, for this witness.
I don't have any. Thank you.
And then Ms. Devlin, do you have any additional questions for this witness based on my questions?
No, thank you, Judge.
All right. Then next witness, if any, for the respondent, Attorney Nelson.
Thank you, Ms. Woodward. You're all set. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate your time. Bye-bye.
Okay, so you're excused
All right.
from further testimony, Ms. Woodward. Thank you for participating.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
The county's next witness, I'm sorry, Judge. The county's next witness is Luke Newton.
Okay. And is he around?
He will be joining from some part of Wisconsin.
Okay.
I just asked him to log on.
Would it be okay to take a 5-minute bathroom break? A 3-minute bathroom?
Sure.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes.
whatever time.
Let's
Yeah,
let's come back at 2:15. How does that sound?
that sounds great. Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Okay, we're back on the record in the matter of the discrimination complaint of Rachel Devlin versus Brown County. We went off the record for a brief recess. We're resuming the case in the respondent's presentation of evidence. I know that Attorney Nelson had indicated before the break that she was calling Luke Newton. They found Mr. Newton, and he is online right now. Mr. Newton, if you'd please raise your right hand, I'll swear you in for your testimony. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
If you would state your name for the record, spelling your last name.
Luke Newton, Newton.
And do you work for Brown County?
Not anymore, but I did.
And what was your position when you worked for them?
HR generalist.
When was the last time that you worked for Brown County?
July of 2022.
All right. And you've been called by Attorney Nelson, who's going to ask you some questions right now.
Good afternoon, Mr. Newton.
Mary?
Do you have the binder of exhibits that I sent you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I want to just start out by having you identify a couple of documents for the record, and then got some questions for you. So these haven't been previously marked before. The first one is basically R1 and R2. So let's start with R1. And Judge Gelhard, these are new exhibits.
Okay.
And so we start with R1, and that is exhibit.
This will be 27, but just so you know, so in the last testimony, the employee handbook had been marked as an exhibit because there was testimony taken from the witness from that. So I don't know if you were aware of that, Attorney Nelson.
Oh, so what the employee handbook you marked as exhibit
26.
26. Okay, got it. And then chapter 4, the personnel rules and regulations, that is exhibit 27, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge. No, I wasn't aware of it, but thank you for explaining. Okay, so Mr. Newton, showing you it's been marked as exhibit 27. It's under tab R1. Can you please explain what this document is?
Yeah, chapter 4 is the ordinance for Brown County personnel, which supersedes any department unless it's more specific. But basically it's the rules and regulations in which we follow.
Okay, and if I can direct your attention within that exhibit, in the bottom right-hand corner are bait stamp page numbers. If I can direct your attention to the bottom of BC 025.
Okay.
And I think this is the county's grievance procedure available to county employees.
Yes.
And it starts at the bottom of page BC 025, and it concludes on BC 029. Is that correct?
Yes.
And this policy, this grievance procedure is available to county policy or county employees who fit within certain definitions, correct?
Correct.
And certainly one of those circumstances that could give rights to the grievance procedure would be a termination.
Correct.
And this policy and procedure was available to Ms. Devlin
Yes.
when her employment was terminated. And is my understanding correct that she did not file a grievance challenging the termination decision?
She did not.
Okay. And then if I can have you turn to R2, tab R2. And this is exhibit 26. And this is the Brown County Employee Handbook. How, if at all, does the county handbook differ from the ordinance?
It's, from what I remember, it mirrors it pretty closely. There may be some more specifics or more information on certain policies.
Okay. And specifically, if I can direct your attention to BC 058.
Okay.
And specifically, section 25, leaves of absence, family and medical leave.
Yes.
And I believe that policy goes through so it starts on BC 058 and goes through BC 062.
Yes.
And with respect to leaves of absence, let's limit it to FMLA. Back when you were employed with the county, Mr. Newton, what was the procedure if a county employee wanted to request FMLA leave?
They would initiate a claim with Unum, which is the third party administrator for all FMLA claims. It would then, everything would go through Unum. All of the certifications and notices would be communicated by Unum. And once there was a decision, there would be an email sent to HR, benefits, and then as well as the employee and that employee's supervisor outlining what they were approved for, whether it was a continuous leave, intermittent leave, and if it was intermittent, what the duration of episodes or appointments or whatever the case may be for those.
Okay. And during that process, was Brown County ever given information, any details in terms of the reason for the FMLA or any medical condition?
No.
That all of that information went to and remained with Unum.
Correct.